Hey, it's Natasha,
And Khalil.
and we are the co-hosts of
Woke and Free.
Thank you for tuning in to our 38th episode of Woke and Free. If you've been tuning in every week for Woke and Free Wednesday, you know that Woke and Free is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything that's important to us, to you, in the world, and nothing is off the table. In this episode, we are talking all about fearless living with our special guest, DJ Johnson. But before we dive deep into the subject, we have a couple of ground rules to cover, as to be expected. First and foremost, have you subscribed to Woke and Free on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio? If not, please do. If you go to WokeNFree.com, you can see all the platforms that the show is on. Make sure you subscribe and give us the love because we greatly appreciate it. Secondly, have you shared an episode with a friend or family member? This would be a fabulous opportunity to take advantage and do that sharing. But definitely feel free to share away. Are you talking to us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter? If so, or if not, you will find us at Woke and Free. And then, of course, if you haven't reviewed one of our episodes, we would love to hear your feedback. You can give us feedback on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio.
Each week we like to share a little bit about us before we talk about the episode. Last week we shared what's the best joke you've been ever told. This week we're going to share what types of music are actually in our favorite playlists.
So this is a goodie, right? Because I've definitely shared this content before. If you've listened to any of our past episodes, I'm a enormous fan of Drake. Shout out to the Canadian wonder star. He's phenomenal. Love you, Drake. Also, I am a fan of trap music, guys. I know. Don't judge me, but if you do, listen. I bet you are too. So you definitely find that on my playlist. Jamaica always, soca, calypso, reggae, reggaeton, all of that good stuff you'll find, as well as Whitney Houston. She will always be missed in my heart and the hearts of so many, as well as just classic pop, right? Like, let's just live our life with pointless music. So
Pointless. Not all pop is pointless.
I guess, but just mind numbing, just I want to bounce around and shake my behind. But how about you? What's on your playlist?
Mine is not in any particular order, but industrial heavy metal music, J-pop, soca like you, electronica, rap, and rock. And these aren't all the musics I like. This is just particularly my favorite. Like, if I put together a favorite playlist, it'd be a combination of this type of music.
Your music
I can
is
just vibe to.
Very expansive, and I have other terms that come to mind, but
Nah, you don't know about that J-pop. You don't even know about that. You know what that means?
Don't try to put me out on blast for the
Woke
and Free Nation.
You're just like, all right, that's a genre. I don't know what that is.
Why don't you explain for everyone listening, what is that?
That's just Japanese pop music.
There you go.
That's all
Exactly. Au revoir,
Okay.
sir. Au revoir. Moving on. Let's get to who is our special guest. So DJ Johnson, her name is Denise Jatea Johnson, aka DJ Johnson, is a Penn State alumna, class of 2012, with a BA in film and video. And just 2 weeks after graduating Penn State, she joined the United States Army as cable systems installer and paratrooper, jumping out of planes. However, she had the opportunity to also be a part of an elite group of singing Army men and women as a member of the 82nd Airborne Division Chorus, where she traveled in and out of the States to perform for various groups of people. When her 4-year contract was over, she went to attend Academy of Art University in San Francisco to get her MA in Communications and Media Technologies to pursue a career in video content for various media forms. So without further ado, let's get to our convo with DJ Johnson.
Welcome to Woke and Free. And just to start off our interview, we like to do a personal share. And this week's personal share is going to be the question: what types of music is your favorite playlist made of?
Wow.
If you have a favorite playlist.
No, I actually have been getting into a lot of different music, like worldwide. Like I listen to a lot of artists from the UK. Uh, there aren't any specific names but it's one woman that I listen to. Her name is I can't remember her name actually, but she she has these just good vibes and good like sounds and tunes. So yeah, my
What what
playlist is just
what
UK.
genre is she in? Could you tell us?
She's like I don't know if I could put her in a specific
Electronica?
genre. I never even heard that type of music before, but she's
Is it like a new age type thing?
yeah, I would definitely call it new age because that's what my playlist is called. It's called New Era. So
Oh, okay,
Mm,
cool.
yeah,
nice. Is it
um,
like of the Enya kind of vibe or no?
um, it's more like inspirational for women to just be confident as a woman and
Nice.
you know things of
Very
that.
cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right.
Okay,
Well, we
nice.
started off with a heavy question, and we're gonna keep this going. So DJ, how did you become the woman you are today?
Wow, trial and error to
Mm,
plain and simple. But I became the woman I am today through my upbringing of my mother, my grandparents, and just everybody that I surround myself with. Um, my journey is a little different than others just because I'm more of like a free spirited person. I just go with the flow of things. If it feels right, and I go for it. And that's pretty much what my life has been up until now.
okay. And are you in a position now that you expected to be in, or have you kind of surprised yourself?
I would say I've surprised myself because just kind of like starting back when I was at Penn State, I always knew what I wanted to do before I did it. Like um, if the thought came about, I was like, okay, that's going to be my next move. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so when I was about to graduate Penn State, I decided I want to go to the military. That seems like a good fit for me. I don't think that I went to do a traditional job. It just didn't feel right at the time. So I figured the military would be a place for me to kind of figure out, what I need to do to get to the next step in my life. So I did that, and I thought I would go back into the regular workforce after the military, but I actually went to grad school, which I didn't think I would do either because um, it just wasn't in my mindset. And then I didn't think that I could afford to go to grad school, to be honest. But the military provided me with that choice, and I did that. I went to grad school, and now I'm just in a place where I want to get back into my just creative way of doing things. I want to get back into making more video content. I love to travel, so that's like a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to document my travel ventures and also promote other artists and their ventures as well.
Social media is a very crowded space. What have you done personally to build your brand awareness?
So, like I mentioned before, I'm doing like a travel series. It's actually called Fearless Living. I did a social media branding class when I was in grad school, and that allowed me to come up with this particular travel brand. So what I do is I do little snippets of where I've gone in the world, and I post it on my regular social media, which is DJTaya, and my Fearless Living Instagram as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I allow people to just kind of explore through me. And I actually do it to encourage others as well. I promote other people's photography on that page, on my Fearless Living page, along with my videos to just encourage people to see the world because it's definitely refreshing and it just opens your mind to a lot of things that you never thought it could.
Mm. And what does fearless living mean to you?
Fearless living is living without restraint, without any boundaries, just do it,
Mm-hmm.
just go without any regrets, any thoughts holding you back.
Okay. And do you feel like most people are not living this way? And if so, why?
Um, I'm not sure if most people are. Cause like lately I've seen a lot of people in my age group, they're traveling a lot more. Um, but I know that there are some that aren't as well. So it's the I guess the latter that I'm trying to encourage to go out and do things because
Mm.
yeah, I mean everybody's not doing the same thing. So I know that whoever's not doing it, I can encourage those to go out and do
Hmm.
whatever they're scared of.
Yeah, traveling's interesting. I mean, Khalil, you like to travel more than me, I think, right?
You like to travel too.
I mean, you know what it is? It's
Why
like
are you saying
so
that?
I was doing this interview separately as an entrepreneur I try to, get out there and build my personal brand, right, through my company Dressing Roommate. And I was doing an interview on the Happy Lawyer Project because I'm a lawyer as well as the 25,000 other things that I do. And we were talking about traveling, and so I'm very conflicted on that because it's like, to say you like traveling, I feel like for me, I also am like a stickler for like wanting my calendar to be followed specifically. And like if you travel, right, then you have to account for like sometimes time zone changes, and maybe you're too tired to do something on your checklist that day. And so like, and that would really like annoy me. So I don't know. I'm like conflicted on that statement of if I like to travel or not. I
Yeah,
think,
but then when you go into different places, you experience different cultures, things like
well,
that.
that I like.
That's
I like that
that's
piece of it, but I don't
that's
like
good.
shifting your whole schedule. I don't know. That part is hard for me. But
Yeah, I think the initial adjustment of coming up with the schedule is hard for you, but
yeah.
the actual traveling and going to different places, I think that's nice. It gives you a chance to get away a little bit and break
Yeah.
away from the norms that you're used to and the same daily things you do. It
Yeah.
changes it up a bit.
When DJ, how did you decide you wanted to start this travel series? Like, did you have like an aha moment, or what, or was it literally like a part of the class that you mentioned that you took in grad school, where like this is kind of what you had to come out of the class with, and so this is the product of that?
Um, it was kind of like an aha moment, that stemmed from being in the military. We did a lot of traveling there, so that kind of put me in that mindset of just going on the go and just not letting it overwhelm you. And
Hmm.
you say with the time zone thing, like like time zone doesn't even matter in the military at all. You get up at all different times of night, and
Hmm.
you just get used to that type of workflow. So, experiencing some travel there to different countries, to go into grad school in California, which is 3 hours uh, behind where I live in Philadelphia right now. I'm already experiencing all this mixture of time and moving. So
Hmm.
my mother is a travel agent, and it just things just start coming together, and I'm just like, this is like for me. I need to be like a travel junkie or whatever like that, because
Hmm.
everything was just falling into place for me to push me in that direction. And then along with the videos, I was like, this gives me a reason to record and to tell a
Hmm.
story. So I was just like, yes, this is my lane. And then with the fearless living, that did come through my grad school class, but you get to choose what you want to brand. So I chose travel since that was my direction I was going in.
Hmm, very interesting. Okay. What would you say has been your biggest like challenge that you faced in your career, either through your military experience or as a content creator? And what have you done to take on these challenges?
My biggest fear is holding myself back, because
Mm.
only I can stop myself from doing what I want to do. I have so many ideas that come across that I can do, and like every morning I'm thinking like, all right, what content can I create today? And I think about it, and then I don't do it, and it's just like, why? It's like there's nothing physically that's stopping me from doing it. It's me. It could be being lazy, or it could be me just not wanting to just throw it out there without fully thinking it through, because I'm very particular with what I put out. I don't like to put out just anything just to get people's attention. I like to put out like quality work and meaningful work. So
Mhm.
um what I'm doing to um help that is like just I guess just focusing more and just kind of like, I guess, meditating and talking to myself, like, what do you really want? Like, what is your outcome? What is your purpose? And when I explain that stuff to myself, it makes me, just follow through with what I said I'm going to do.
What has been the best advice that was told to you, and why was it the best?
The best advice would be to talk to other people who have been in my position because they've already been through it. And I mean, they're the best person to talk to. I can learn from them and put my own little spin on it with what they're giving me.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that that's, the coach in me definitely agrees with that statement. Yes, I, as someone who's able to provide advice and mentorship to others outside of my life as a podcaster, I definitely agree. I think that so many people really underestimate the value of speaking with someone who's lived it before, and not necessarily in that kind of like parent child relationship, because yeah, we all grow up and we look and we're like, you don't know anything, but it's more like the situation of, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. It might be helpful to go speak to someone who's been doing that in your space for the past 5-10 years, right? How did it go? What was that journey like? What were mistakes to avoid? I think so many of people want to go and they're like, I got this, I got it all. And it's like, you're not an isolated island. So you might need to go interview 100 people and then start your business, right? Like get that, and not to say that you can't just start, but it's always, I agree. Like it's good to get that context for what you're jumping into.
Mhm.
Uh, I do actually want to know now, when it comes to content creation, documenting experiences, what do you feel like is the future of this space? Like, and in the sense of what innovation do you feel like is going to be happening in the next couple of years? And how do you see yourself being a part of that?
That is a great question, and I actually prepared for you to ask me something to that extent because I'm going to answer the question, but I have to go back a little bit. When I when YouTube first came out, I had no idea what it would be today. Like I am blown away by the opportunities and the doors that it has opened for so many content creators that they had no idea what they were going to do as far as like a daily job, and this is some of their daily jobs.
Hmm.
um
Yeah.
so like going forward it's just like I really I don't know, but I just hope that whatever is to come is even bigger than it is now, because I want to be a part of that. I want to be like, I feel like I kind of like missed the wave just because I've always had a YouTube. I just never was consistent with it because I didn't know it could create revenue and people would be that interested in that part of my life, traveling or something like that. And I didn't really have a direction back then, but now I just feel like it's just more room for more creators to come in, honestly, because
Mm.
that's my main concern right now with so much. Like people don't even watch TV anymore like that. They can watch YouTube. I know I do. I'm like an addict. So I just hope there's room, to be honest. I hope there's like, I don't know. It's just technology can go so many different ways, and whew, I just
Mhm.
hope there's rooms just to keep it simple.
Interesting. I mean, I would add to that. I think VR, like virtual reality, is up on the rise, and I think that, to be honest, is going to be a part of the content creation journey. But Khalil, what do you think?
Um, it's between VR and AR. So do you know the
Mm,
difference?
explain it to the Woken Free
Oh,
Nation.
okay. Well, VR is virtual reality, and it's kind of like you're in an enclosed environment. You put on a
Mm-hmm.
headset, and you don't know what's going on in the real world outside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Augmented reality, you do use a headset, but usually what they do now is they put clear lens in front of your eyes so you can still
Mm.
see the room around you. And what it'll do is it'll basically create images that you think are actually in the room with you. So you'll still be able to see like your couch or sofa, but maybe you'll see somebody sitting on the chair.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's augmented reality. So you're still in the real world. You're not closed off inside of a headset. You can see all your surroundings, but you also see images projected kind of into your surroundings.
DJ, what do you think about that?
Oh yes. I actually wrote a paper on it to be in grad school.
Oh, okay.
Like now that you mentioned that, it just jogged my memory that I had to write a paper on, what's to come as far as technology in that sense. And I definitely wrote about augmented reality. It wasn't in a sense of necessarily content creating, but it was more of like dressing rooms being more like you could see different clothes on you without actually having to change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's in the works somewhere in the world. So that should be really cool when it comes out.
Yeah, and even another example of it, which it's dying down the craze now, but Pokemon Go, that was
Oh,
augmented
yeah.
reality as well.
Yeah.
You point at your phone at something and they put a Pokemon, in the environment. So that was a form of augmented reality. But I think
Yeah.
it's going to go more toward, I think
VR.
one of them is it's going to be similar to VR where you put on a headset
Yeah.
and you look around you and you see like you don't need to hold your phone and you'll still be able to have that
Interesting.
like augmented reality experience. I think that'll be the future. I think
Okay.
something like that. And the real future is to have no headset at all, right? You just like
Definitely. Yeah.
maybe contacts or something.
Glasses or something.
Yeah, something that really light, not something really bulky, and you just walk around and you really feel that something's there that isn't there, like objects and whatever games you can play, but you can communicate with your family and friends from across the globe. That's like the future, I think. I don't know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
What are some benchmarks that you're looking to achieve in your career?
I'm looking to really just be at the height of my storytelling, just kind of get better. Like, I mean, I always believe in like you could be great, but you can be greater. Like I never want to stop. I just want to keep going and going. And I want to work for. I mean, I'm torn because I would say I want to work for the top company, like the top media company, but it's not even about being the top because as long as we're creating great things, then that's all that really matters to me. But I just want to be at the top of whatever company that I work for, even if it's my own. Like, I've entertained the thought of, entrepreneurship in a company like a video editing content creating company. So that's my benchmark, just being at the top of content creating. I'm talking about the editing, the skill sets, because editing is very intricate. Like I think that some people take
Oh
that
yeah.
for granted. It's very tedious and you have to pay attention to detail. So I just want to be on top
Yes.
of that.
Definitely agree with that.
Absolutely.
Editing is not easy.
Yeah, we do. We make WokeNFree bloopers where we imitate or personify a scene from a movie or TV show or just something that we both have found to be beyond hilarious. And yeah, we have to film it and then edit it and put it together. And then we also do other film projects. And so yes, we are quite familiar with that struggle. It is quite real.
Yes.
But that's actually a type of innovation I would like to see in video editing, to be honest. I would love for somehow.
Oh, you wish it was easier, right?
Yeah, I would love if anyone's, hey, WokeNFree Nation, if anyone is going to be working on that, holler at us and let us know. We want to try the demo, the beta version, whatever. Like, you should be able to edit a video and not take like 7 hours to do it. Like that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I guess to shift gears a little bit, when it comes to content creating, video storytelling, stuff like that, how important has collaboration been in your journey, and how do you feel about it? Generally, collaborating as a part of your own personal or professional growth.
Oh wow, collaboration is like one of the things that I feel brings more out of me. I'm definitely in the works of having other people come and do videos with me, whether it's just like a talking video or maybe it's like a day in the life of me and this other person or skits. I've been writing little scripts with people and You know, it's not it didn't happen yet, but it's definitely in the works. But I love collaborations because you know different people bring different personalities, and sometimes people like when we vibe very well, they bring you know maybe a different side of me out. It's a good thing. So
Hmm.
specifically my mother, like we're 25 years apart. I just have to put that out because like we're in two different generations, but when we're together, like it's just it's just an interesting like conversation, an interesting vibe. You know, I pick with her about not knowing, you know, the new crazes and everything like that and teaching her how to be hip. So I always like when I
Uh,
things like that.
Aw, shout out to mom. It is funny when you talk to parents and they're like, "You kids." That's too funny. Like our main mission
the
in
kids
life,
these days.
yeah, is not to grow up saying these kids these days. Like when we're 50, we cannot be saying that's ridiculous.
Well, I know I'll be kicking kids off my lawn. You know, I'm doing that. Get off my lawn.
I don't get off of my property.
Yeah.
Like the life goal is not to be a curmudgeon. Like, too funny.
What are mistakes to avoid if you want to be successful as a content creator or a media personality?
Mistakes. I would say, ooh, be careful what you put out. Like, don't just put out anything just for the sake of it. Like, be mindful of your audience, because like they're the ones that's watching your stuff, and they're the ones that's like they can either I feel like they can either make you or break you because like I say that because I watch a lot of other content creators and I see like just it could be just simple. Maybe you put out too much of a personal thing. Like stick to your brand. Whatever your brand is, whatever you're putting out, stick to that. Don't put out your personal business because
Okay.
Interesting. So you feel like people can like essentially you're advocating being pigeon-toed, right? That if someone starts a brand and is growing a brand, say in a career-oriented space, and they start to now get a little bit more personal or they talk about having a meltdown, you feel like that potentially could be a mistake as a content creator?
it could if you don't want it. Like if that's what you want, if that's what you're comfortable in doing, great. But if you're not, then just be careful and going in that direction because you know it just brings a whole different like aura to whatever
Mm.
you're putting out.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, ultimately, I feel like, and hopefully the Woken Free Nation agrees. I don't necessarily know if there are real mistakes in life. I think that everything we do is a teachable lesson, right? Whether whether it lands well or it doesn't. But I agree. I think it's a part of branding means like consistency, right, in your messaging. And so it's difficult because also I think as a content creator, as we, create content, as well. And so we're always trying to find ways to connect with our audience, right? And you want to try new things, but then you also have to think about your branding as a whole as well. So it's interesting. It's definitely listen, I mean, that's why this is now a career. This is now an industry because it's something that is how you have to be very thoughtful and it requires a lot, right? Even when you don't have the energy, you've got to muster it up and figure out what are you saying, how are you staying engaging, why are you interesting, right? Because it's so noisy out, in the matter of us speaking. I'm sure there have been, I don't know what, 1,000 tweets, 200,000 Instagram stories. Like it's like it's this nonstop world that we live in. So
it's a ton of social media and it's always on.
Yeah, like you can never like in your sleep. Part of me wishes I could like strap a device to my head and like even like tweet out dreams or something like to share with people. Like, no, I'm still here. I'm like,
Wow.
Don't forget about me.
That's a little much, but
That might be too personal, as you were suggesting.
I mean, don't get me wrong, being personal definitely it makes people see you as a real person. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you're not ready for that, like, be prepared if you're going to do it. That's all.
True. I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, because I have seen posts, especially on the Facebook platform, of people putting out their whole business and people serving them with something other than what they wanted, and then it turning into this whole thing, which they were like, wow, I didn't know it was going to be there. Well, it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have told everybody, he was cheating on this, and then, like, wait a minute now.
Exactly.
Are there things that you wish you knew before you decided you wanted to kind of pursue a career as a content creator and documenting your journey as a travel nista?
Absolutely. I wish I knew social media would be like the place to really showcase all my work consistently.
Mm.
Like, I did not know that. I thought it was just something, you do every now and then just to keep people updated with, bits and pieces of your life. But I never thought it would be this big. I mean, people are being discovered on social media. Like, you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to go through agencies to, get you noticed or get you booked or anything like that. You can book yourself basically if you have that much of a following or people are interested in you. So I definitely wish I would have known that social media was like the key to my, my possible success. I mean, it's still time, but I wish I just would have known earlier.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. So here at Woke and Free, we love to talk about things that maybe the media doesn't cover or other people aren't really aware of. Hence the name Woke and Free. Of it points to us being aware and just looking deeper into the meanings of why certain things happen. We're excited for you to actually share your story with the Woke and Free Nation. What has happened to you recently that made you woke and free?
Wow, what's happened to me recently? Actually, this might sound a little funny, but I actually paid off my student loans.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that
Nice.
that to me that was woken free because it was like the pinnacle of me feeling like literally free. Like
Mm.
I,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I to this day I don't know how I did it because I didn't do nothing specific, but I just feel like now I can really focus on the next chapter in my life without feeling that burden on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The weight has
Mm-hmm.
been lifted.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But right, as we are all fellow Penn State alums, it was totally worth it though,
Well, you
right?
messed that
Yeah,
up. You know what she messed that up. What she meant to say is we are
Penn State.
Penn State. Yep. That's what you meant to say.
He's such a stickler for that whole thing that you're supposed to do when people yell at us in the street. It's too funny when we wear
They've done that to us in the past.
I know.
I think the last time though was it was almost 10 years ago
maybe.
actually.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
since
that we
said
heard somebody say it, but yeah. I think
wow.
we'll always remember.
But yes, but congratulations. That is huge. You should have threw yourself a party, a no debt party. That is awesome, man.
Party.
Yeah. It didn't feel, I guess, how I thought it would feel because it was like a really adult decision. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe I'll throw myself a party when I actually get my graduate degree, my master's degree. And then I'll throw
Paid
myself
off.
a party. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I my law school debt says hello. Yeah, grad school debt is a whole other type of engagement. That is interesting. But yes, listen. That's an accomplishment. We have to
Yeah, it's
celebrate
great.
every single victory. Congratulations. Hey, and when anyone listening in the Woken Free Nation, if you paid off your debt, tweet us, let us know. That is awesome. We can celebrate you for that. That is remarkable because you know how many people live and die with student loan debt. I mean.
Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah, it's a big issue in this country.
Definitely. We'll
Growing
see if
debt.
the government gets woken free about student loan debt. They need to get your life, guys.
Yeah.
So I guess we know you're busy, and so we appreciate all the time you have. I guess the last question we just have is, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you? Do you have any upcoming events or projects that you'd like to share with the Woken Free Nation?
Okay, yes. So the best way to like keep up with me is on my Instagram at djataya. Jataya is Jataya. You can also find me on YouTube with the same name. I'll pop right up.
That's awesome.
Cool.
You should make a little PSA. I love how you said that. That's awesome. You're like, I'll pop right up.
I mean, how many Jataeas do you know? I think it's a pretty unique name, being so my mom made the name up.
Oh, wow. Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
very
wow.
cool. Awesome,
Nice.
awesome. All right. Well, yeah, we definitely will share your social media handles. We appreciate you sharing your story again with the Woken Free Nation, with us. This whole platform is dedicated to getting people aware of people and individuals who have really unique stories like yourself, getting aware of things that's going on in our community and government and media that people are not talking about or not having the deeper conversation about. And so we appreciate you and thank you for sharing.
Thank you for allowing me to share.
Absolutely, DJ.
Thank you.
All right. So you have a good day, okay?
All right, you too.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
We are at that time again. It is coming to the end of our 38th episode of Woke and Free. That was better. Good job, love.
You should pat yourself on the back.
Oh, bravo.
Please
Natasha.
pat yourself.
Bravo. You're such
got
a
it together.
success every single time.
Well, this time, yes, you're correct. You are correct today.
Pray for us, guys. Pray for us, Woken Free Nation.
If you pray, I guess.
Yes, if you pray, and if not, just send your positive vibes down the ether. But I think we're departing onto a different type of conversation, so we're gonna swing this right back. What were we talking about for this episode? We were talking about embracing yourself, fearless living, with our special guest DJ Johnson. And as per usual, I always ask, but you know the answer: will I leave you hanging for what our next episode will be about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we will be talking about bullies and why our children's voices seem not to be heard. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation. And make sure you tune in next week for Woken Free Wednesday to join the conversation at WokenFree.com.
If you want to be a guest on the show, submit a topic for an upcoming episode or share how you feel. Make sure you hit us up on the Contact Us page on WokenFree.com. That's WokenFree.com. I say it all the time. We are very active on social media. Please holler at us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WokenFree.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode, and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for Woken Free Wednesdays. Until next time, stay woke, stay free.